Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? If the answer is yes, then you're ready.
Not allowing a child to use puberty blockers is simply just transphobic. It just is what it is. There's no real reason not to. Puberty blockers just allows a child to kind of freeze, allows their look to freeze, to stay in place. It gives them more time, essentially, to decide whether they want to go further with any medical transition. At any point while using puberty blockers, a child can stop and essentially just have the natural puberty that they would have, but a few years later. But a lot of people evolve differently as far as puberty. You know, it seems like some people don't hit puberty until they get in their 20s. And puberty blockers will essentially allow a gender variant child the opportunity to wait until they get older to go through a puberty. It's no big deal. Puberty blockers don't cause breast development. Puberty blockers don't affect anybody's voice. They'll essentially stay in that childlike look, their own childlike look, for a little longer. Then if you don't let your child go on puberty blockers, then you be embarrassed. Little trans girl sounded like Caitlyn Jenner. Be scared to take the child in public, want to pretend that she's deaf. Got the little trans boy out here clocky. Don't nobody want to be clocky. Ain't nobody trying to be clocky because we got to deal with so much bullshit in this superficial society and being clocky. Or pretend that the trans child don't exist. I've seen a lot of that in my work. But you ain't doing yourself no favors, you ain't doing the child no favors, and you're not changing their mind. By not letting a child go on puberty blockers, somebody who is trans and will transition, by not letting them go on puberty blockers, you're essentially just making it harder for them to transition. They're going to likely end up getting more plastic surgery or being more insecure with the way that they look as an adult. What's the point of that? Give your trans child the best opportunity at life as possible. Puberty blockers help to offer that. It's not a big deal. It's really not.
If you're a teacher and you teach a predominantly white population, my students, they all celebrate Christmas, so I have to celebrate Christmas. It's part of the culture. I disagree. Teach at a minority school or a school that's majority minority populations. You spend a lot of time uplifting your students' cultures and showing them that they matter. And there's this disconnect because, you do all of that and you send them out into this world that is just so cruel that says, no, we do it this way. It's because I really think we have to stop focusing the conversation on, respecting diversity and putting it on our Black and brown students to educate and share about their diversity. We just have to start challenging our whiter populations to think outside of the box. And I know you're probably like, well, what does that have to do with, Christmas? I just think that's where it starts. I could, as a music teacher, sit here and say, you know what? I have a lot of students that celebrate Christmas. We're going to celebrate Christmas. We're going to learn about lots of different holidays. We're going to learn about the differences that they have to the holidays that we celebrate. And we're going to learn about the things that they do that are similar. Because celebrating diversity doesn't make your own cultural traditions less. And at the end of the day, my students are not going to lose out on their Christmas traditions. They are going to have a better worldview of what's going on in the world every December, and they're going to be better people for it.
Just a few quick reminders. White privilege is real, and it doesn't mean that you're a bad person because you have it. You can choose what to do with it, and that could be good or bad. Doesn't mean you didn't work hard either. Just means the color of your skin doesn't make life harder for you. Remember, talking to kids about race is important, and you can start very young. And talking to kids about race is not racist. Finally, some people might get uncomfortable about it, but remember, we should not be more concerned about white people's uncomfortable feelings than the actual harm that comes to people of color from racism. Thanks, and have a good day.
Hey bro, I hear you're dating my girlfriend. Oh yeah, well I hear you're sleeping with my girlfriend. Yeah, I am. It's really good. Oh, good for you. I'm so happy you have a fulfilling, intimate connection with my girlfriend. I don't know, you sound pretty sarcastic to me. Sure, whatever. This is just how society taught me to talk to other men who are pursuing my partners. At this point, this tone is muscle memory. I'm genuinely happy for the both of you. Oh, is that right? Well, same, bro. Same. She tells me how happy you make her. It's really fucking nice. Well, that makes me really happy. She says the same shit about you. Are we about to kiss, bro? Yeah, I consent. Do you? Oh, fuck yeah. Get them cute-ass lips over here.
When your child comes out to you as gay or trans, don't tell them that you'll love them no matter what. Of course you do. But that's what you say to a child when they've done something wrong that didn't meet your expectations. It's what you say when they've been caught stealing a candy bar or cheating on a test. Instead, you want to say something that conveys there's nothing wrong with being LGBTQ. Instead, tell them, everything I learn about you makes me love you more. I love finding out who you are, and I'm so excited for the rest of the world to do the same. Also, do not tell your children that you are afraid that life will be harder for them. It's not your children's responsibility to carry the weight of your fears. They'll be plenty capable of discovering fears on their own. They do not need yours too. When a child comes out, the only emotion you need to express is joy.
Men will always say things like, oh, men make up 78% of the homicides. Men are 3.5 times more likely to kill themselves. Oh, men don't live as long as women, as a way to discredit women's struggles. This in itself is the dumbest argument you could make. Like, who do you think is killing all these men? Men are killing men. They're also killing women. They're killing everybody. Men are killing themselves because of the culture of toxic masculinity. We're not allowed to talk about our emotions. We have no way to deal with things, so we just go insane and self-destruct. There is such a high standard for what a man needs to do to be a man in society that he would rather die than be emasculated. Toxic masculinity is the reason we have men killing other men 90% of the time. It's also the reason we're killing ourselves. Men holding on to toxic masculinity as a way to discredit another man and oppress women is holding the whole world back. Men are the weakest link and we are our own oppressors, and we don't even realize that. Bringing up dumb statistics like that just furthers women's point.
If the patriarchy allowed men to have feelings, we would very, very quickly realize that most gym bros have eating disorders.
No, because literally I've had multiple men tell me that they only go to the gym because they think their face is ugly, so they work on their body to make up for it. Y'all have more issues than I do.
So I brought that color DeLorean 21 minutes into.
Shit, I look like a vampire grandma.
You have wealthy, well-to-do white people come into Appalachia and use us as an excuse as to why white privilege does not exist. Oh, if white privilege exists, why are these white people still poor? And that is totally wrong. I've seen so many other people share content about Appalachia, old historical videos and things like that, and they're like, oh, this must be the white privilege they're talking about. You do not get to use our struggles and the poverty that we face to minimize white privilege in America. We are not your scapegoat. And it really upsets me when I see that and see those comments, because no, even poor white Appalachian people can acknowledge that there is white privilege and that it is a very real thing. We might benefit a little less, but it's still there and it's still real.
I do think that we're going to see President Trump returning to social media in probably about 2 or 3 months here with his own platform. And this is something that I think will be the hottest ticket in social media. It's going to completely redefine the game, and everybody is going to be waiting and watching to see what exactly President Trump does, but it will be his own platform.
Oh my
God! Nothing like entitled white male for breakfast. Here I come, motherfucker!
I just wanted to confirm something with you all real quick, just to make sure that we're all on the same planet. So Kyle Rittenhouse takes the money from both his stimulus check and his unemployment check, money that most families would use for things like groceries or to make it through the pandemic. He takes that money, goes and buys a firearm, even though you have to be 18 to buy a firearm in the United States. He's 17, he got it from a friend, so they say. And he travels across state lines with that firearm, goes to a BLM protest, and by the end of the night shoots 3 people. 2 of those 3 people die. He goes to jail, and now he's free on a $2 million bond. That's what y'all are telling me? People are supporting this man, calling him a hero, donating money, things like that, and now he's free. But George Floyd got killed over $20. Khalif killed himself because he got put in solitary confinement over a backpack. Tamir Rice was fucking 12 years old and got shot for having a toy gun. And y'all want to protect Kyle? He's a murderer. What the fuck are we saying? Colin Kaepernick is the villain and Kyle is the hero? Shut the fuck up.
Right, so you say all lives matter. Okay, so that's white people, black people, Asian people, Muslims, trans, Jewish people, Native American, all kinds of people are in the spectrum of all lives because all lives matter, right? Okay, great. But when you have one particular subset of lives that are consistently being murdered and beaten in the streets and discriminated against, then what you're gonna end up with actually is most lives. And if you're gonna continue to say all lives matter, all does not equal most. Okay, Karen? So what we're gonna need to do is we're going to need to help the lives that need helping so that all lives can fucking matter. Are you fucking dumb? Are you fucking